David Herbert Lawrence. The fourth of five children, David Herbert Lawrence was born in 1885 at Eastwood, a poor mining village in Nottinghamshire. His father was an illiterate coal miner, often drunk but generous and full of vital energy, while his mother, a Puritan, intellectual, refined, retired teacher, came of a well-to-do middle-class family and was socially superior to her husband. Their different cultural backgrounds were the cause of frequent quarrels. He in fact wanted the boys to work in the mine with him, but his wife strongly opposed him and finally managed to send all the children to the local ward school. These family tensions deeply affected young David, a pale, delicate, sickly boy who grew shy and insecure in a complex relationship of dependence on his overprotective mother, though later on in his wife he came to revalue and admire his father's passionate nature and his love of life. At the age of 13, he won a scholarship to Nottingham High School, which he left at the age of 16 for a job as a clerk in a firm of surgical appliance manufacturers in Nottingham. But he soon fell ill with pneumonia, which would eventually lead to tuberculosis and to a premature death. In 1901, he made the acquaintance of Jessie Chambers, the Miriam of Sons and Lovers, a sweet, intelligent girl with whom he used to read poetry and take long walks in the country. Jessie played an important part in his life, encouraging him to write. Yet, after some years, they parted after being engaged, since David's mother's influence was still very strong on him. In 1903, he entered Nottingham's University College, and after taking a teacher's certificate in 1908, he went to teach at Croydon, where he stayed until 1912. During all this time, he went on writing, and in 1911, he saw his first novel published. His mother had died in 1910, and in 1912, he gave up his job hoping to find a new position at a German university. But something happened which totally changed his life. While paying a visit to his former professor of French, he met the latter's German-born wife, Frieda von Richthofen, who was 5 years older than him and mother of 3 children. They fell passionately in love, and 6 weeks after meeting, they fled to Germany. This elopement marked a turning point in Lawrence's life. After spending 2 years in Germany and Italy, in 1914 they returned to England, where he eventually married her. When the First World War broke out, they were suspected of being spies, perhaps because of his hostility to the war, or perhaps because Frieda was a German. So they were not only denied passports, but were also ordered by the police to leave Cornwall, where they had settled. Among the problems of this period, there was also the suppression of his new novel, The Rainbow, which was condemned and banned as immoral and indecent. When the war was over in 1919, soon after getting back his passport, Lawrence decided to leave England, where, for the rest of his life, he only returned on short visits. Together with Frieda, he took to traveling, touring the world in search of an ideal land where he could feel at ease. But he never found it, because it was inside and not outside himself that he had to look for peace and happiness. Up to 1922, he stayed in Italy, where he showed some sympathy for the new fascist ideas. While there, he visited Sardinia and Sicily, and impressed by Giovanni Verga's works, he started translating his Master Don Gesualdo. In 1922, he took to traveling again. After visiting Ceylon, Australia, the USA, and Mexico, he settled in New Mexico for some time. In 1925, his health getting worse, he returned to Italy, where he remained until 1928. In 1929, seriously ill with tuberculosis and embittered by the continual attacks of his British press on his workbooks, he moved to the south of France, where he died on March 2nd, 1930. A novelist, poet, critic, and even a painter in his later years, Lawrence left a large literary production made up of novels, short stories, poems, critical essays, and even plays. He started in 1907 as a writer of short stories and went on writing throughout his life, often inspired by the country he was staying in.